Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show all of you how to get better at this game, whether it be you're trying to level from like level 4 to level 5, or even just trying to go straight from level 5 all the way up to Helldive. Let me tell you what, this is not an easy thing to do, but luckily you clicked on the right video because I'm going to go straight to the point and show all of you exactly what I have done from my personal experience that has taken my gaming to the next level. So let's get started. So number one, force yourself to play solo. By playing solo, you are forcing yourself to rely, well, on yourself. You have less lives, you've got more at stake, you've got more bugs trying to come around you, especially with the brand new update, and it just really forces yourself to think more strategically and less just gung-ho and reckless, because you don't have anyone else to say, hey, let me be revived, hey, call me back in. Next, I'm going to show you guys, you just really need to play aggressively. By playing aggressively, I'm talking about using guns that are a little bit closer. So closer range as in, like, let's just say maybe the sickle, or even the arc blitzer, which is pretty awesome right now. Or even if you want to go a little bit more, just do shotguns. Shotguns and those pretty much are pretty solid, but you can also use things like the penetrator, but from my personal experience and purpose of this video, that's pretty much what I've done. Next, this is probably the most important one in my opinion, is learning to juke bugs. By learning to juke bugs, you are able to effectively maneuver through hordes, and I mean hordes, or even just learning how to go around just a few of them so you can get to your objective, or if you're just low on health and you just need to get past these 2 or 3 warriors that are just looking right at you. By juking bugs, you can effectively avoid any type of damage or basically mitigate all sorts of damage from no matter what bug it is. Next, really just choose a stratagem that matches your play style. So by being aggressive, I've just learned to adapt to having the napalm strike, because that's how you accrue the most amount of kills over a shorter period of time, because the fire stays on the ground and actually burns through a lot of them instead of just like an instantaneous explosion. Next is the Eagle Airstrike. This bad boy can also knock out Bile Titans. They can knock out any and all bugs because it does some heavy damage. I used to like the Cluster Strike, but I mean, it doesn't really do any damage to the big boys, and the big boys are just as important as the small boys. Next is the Rover. The Rover, in my opinion, has your back, especially with the hunters. So if you're trying to run around or low on stamina and you don't really have to want to turn around and just shoot a bunch of hunters, the Rover has your back. Even with the Shriekers, those bad boys can knock out the Shriekers while you're trying to the objective, or just really run yourself to safety. Then lastly, I love the Quasar Cannon. Some of you hate me calling it, some of you say it's Quasar, but on this channel we call it the Quasar Cannon. This gun, even though they pretty much added like 6 seconds to the cooldown, it is still my favorite gun because you can effectively just one-shot, what's their names? The Chargers. You can effectively just one-shot those bad boys, as well as now it's a 2-shot with the Spore Sewer. But even though it does take a little bit longer to cool down, you do have the advantage of unlimited ammo. Unlike the EAT, or you just calling in any other resupplies, or just calling any other guns in, you don't have to worry about that. Instead, it's just a cooldown, and I will take that any day, especially for longer matches. And then lastly, try different challenges instead of just missions. Challenge yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong, whether you're on Helldive or whatever mission it is, this game is obviously not easy. It does have a learning curve, but once you just get the hang of just some of the missions, by effectively challenging yourself to harder things, that allows you to play differently and think a little bit harder as far as what your strategy is going to do. So just essentially, like, I do the, only, no stems, just playing a game with only the health you have, or no deaths, but I slowly progress to, like, get slightly harder. So instead of just doing, just going right into those, I, stepped up to try to do the 1,000 kill games. And once I was able to do that, then I slowly went up to, well, let's try a no death. And after no deaths, I was able to do some of those. I was like, well, let's try doing the melee only. These are my super quick tips as to how I have gotten better no matter what difficulty, and you could apply level 2 to level 3, or even just level 7 to level 9. But I sure hope this helps. Just let me know what you think in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video.